This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Okay, we live in the crib, Vibin With Veto. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube at Vibin With Veto. Also follow us on the Instagram at Vibin With Veto. You already know the slogan. We vibrating higher and we chasing purpose over popularity. And today, I got my dog in the building, man. DJ Spinz, bro.
Yes, sir.
This shit is crazy, bro, to even have you here, bro, because like your track record and your legacy, it speaks for itself. So you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you for coming to vibe with me. Thank you for coming, dog.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, man. Shit, man. I ain't too hard to find. DJ Spinz on Twitter, Spinz on IG. Same thing on DSPs.
Yeah, facts. I got $1 million question for you, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody that sits on this couch, I have the honor to ask them this question. Now I have the honor to ask DJ Spinz.
Yep.
How big would you dream if you knew you couldn't fail?
Man, shit, that sounds like my life.
Damn.
And I ain't never seen a ceiling.
For real?
Mm-mm.
Damn. Take us back, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like what kind of inspired you to want to be a DJ and, you know, also a producer too as well? Like, you know, take us back on at the beginning of the journey, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, man, it really started in my hometown, Augusta.
Right.
And you know, I had a family who my grandma was a singer, and my uncles, they were like entrepreneurs in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it kind of really took form from there. Like my uncle and my grandma had a supper club that I grew up in. So like my first, you know, I guess instance of admiration was like seeing the DJ there. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
His control, you know, the vibe and the people in the party and stuff like that.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, that was when I first, you know, like I started to develop like favorite songs, and I was kind of emulating him. I'm like, you know, I want to be like Larry. That was his name or whatever. So
Facts.
It started there, and then shit, when I got in high school, or really middle school, it was like I realized I wasn't going to be like tall as hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I like to play basketball, but I just resorted to NBA 2K.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
And the turntable. So that's really where it started.
Nah, that's dope. So you said Augusta, right?
Yep.
How did the music scene in Augusta differ from like in Atlanta? You know what I'm saying? And how did you like shape your sound? You know what I'm saying? Coming from there to like kind of mirror what was happening here in Atlanta.
Well, yeah, growing up, you know, Augusta is a small town, and you know, we had a few people that, you know, were from Augusta or you know, had ties to Augusta, but the scene as a whole was very like small. There's a lot of like, you know, crabs in the bucket type thing.
Facts.
But I just kind of realized early that, you know, Atlanta was the hub, and I needed to get here. Yeah,
facts.
Yeah, so that's, you know, that's pretty much how it was there. For
sure. So like, okay, because you were doing clubs like the Mariachis and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? You had that motherfucker rocking. Like, how did you segue into like the club scene and stuff? Because like the average DJ trying to get on, you know, you don't see them like I guess rocking big clubs, like major clubs, like when they first start out. Or where did you start? You know what I'm saying? Like DJing first.
I actually started in my uncle's club, like when I was
okay, you started there first.
Yeah, he gave me a couple opportunities, and it was an older crowd, but I still rocked them.
Yeah, facts.
So, you know, that, and then I also was kind of like, you know, it was different. I was on the radio at 16.
Damn.
Like
back home.
Yeah. So like,
wow.
That was a big thing with the program director giving me an opportunity. But when I moved up here, like clubs like that you speaking of, like Mariachi and things like that, that really came from Scream. Like,
shout out to DJ Scream.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, I was back then, you know, we had sidekicks, and stuff like that. So I was connected with people, you know, via the internet, and then I told them, you know, like I was coming up here for college, and Scream, you know, he looked out for me like a big brother, like he always has. Once I was able to bring my turntables up here, because my mom was like,
she was tripping?
Yeah, she was like, you going to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
You need to be focused. You're going up there.
Yeah.
Which
facts.
I knew what I was coming up here for.
Yeah, facts.
But I had to show her, like, you know what I'm saying, that I was serious about my books. So I did a quarter, you know what I'm saying, at school. Came back with good grades. Had my turntables. 15th of January. Mixtapes out, you know.
Damn.
And then Scream, you know, he was like, he knew some people he worked with them before, which was, I'm sure you're familiar with KIP.
Facts, yeah. Shout out to KIP and Southern Bread.
Shout out them boys, man, for real. They gave me my start in Atlanta.
Damn.
At Mariachi. That was the first club I DJed when I came here.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah. I want to shift gears to the futuristic era, but we gonna keep going before we get there though.
Okay.
A lot of people associated you with Atlanta legends, but what was your journey like, you know what I'm saying, when you first touched down, when you first started working with these artists, you know what I'm saying? How did you start building your rapport with some of these artists that you started making mixtapes with and stuff?
Yeah, man. It really was kind of like I think it was like divine timing, because when I came up here, it just so happened to be, you know, the time of a lot of these artists, you know what I'm saying, and the generation of artists, you know, that a lot of people, you know, that I came up with, we had a lot in common, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were the same age, so it really wasn't like coming into it, it's like, okay, Scream, he the big dog, you know what I'm saying? Scream and Drama, they doing their thing on the mixtapes, but I'm the young guy. So, you know, I'm at the club, and I was talking to my friend about it the other night. The first song that I remember, like, breaking and, like, seeing that real impact of, like, you know, I don't know, you're from that era, so you remember kind of like, you know, now a song come out and it'll go viral on TikTok. In that time, it was like, people will make a song and then they'll go test it at the club. You know what I'm saying? So I got to, like, literally be in that time. So the first song I never forget was it was All Night by KIP.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Damn.
And what's so crazy is like he was KIP's artist. You know what I'm saying?
So K-Camp was KIP's artist. I didn't know that. I just knew that they rocked. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that at the time. So thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, so like, you know, me and K-Camp the same age. And that's really like with a lot of those guys that I ended up meeting. So like,
facts.
Once the word got out about Mariachi, how the party was,
shit was crazy, dog.
Yeah, we started getting, you know, people from the West Side, the rich kids was coming, you know what I'm saying? That's how Travis Porter.
Facts.
Even down to Waka, you know what I'm saying? And the Southside crew, like, I'll never forget, I think Bread had booked Gucci one night at the club. And then that was the start of, like, Waka coming. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, and, you know, I couldn't have planned that.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was going to end up to be what they are.
Yeah, facts.
It really was just like a community thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We kind of didn't look at it as, you know, well, I didn't. I was just kind of in the moment, feeling the energy. Yeah, like, oh, this was going on. We just ran this motherfucker back 4 times last night and tore the walls down in here. You know
that shit crazy, bro.
Yeah, and I think that just translated to the world.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or like the people who got to hear that music in that time.
Bruh, I'm talking about going to Mariachi. I remember, bruh, because nigga, I lived all the way in Camp Creek. So to drive all the way out there, you had to have a buzz, bruh, going, you know what I'm saying, to come all the way to, where was that, Marietta, right?
Yeah, Franklin Road.
To drive to Franklin Road from fucking Camp Creek, that shit is far as hell, bro. Yeah. So like, we thoroughly enjoyed like going to clubs where like you were DJing that, you know what I'm saying? Then they had the Sub-Zeros in Underground and shit like that. Frequency and all of that stuff too as well. Yeah. So that was a time, bro, which actually brings me to my next question. How did you link with Pretty Boy Tank? And then you guys started like, bruh, because when I say Space Invaders, bruh, is one of them ones, bruh, to this day, I still would love to see like 2025. I don't know if y'all working on anything, a Space Invaders for 2025, but we can talk about that later on in the show. But how did you link with my boy DJ Pretty Boy Tank?
Yeah,
Hey, man, thank you guys for watching the content, watching all of the interviews. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also leave a comment, man. Vibin With Veto. Just take 1 second out your day and leave a comment, like, or subscribe. Let's get back to the interview.
Yeah, man, Tank, that's my brother. Man, just from being like in that circuit, you know,
Yeah,
it's
facts.
kind of like, I don't remember exactly, you know what I'm saying, the place where it was, but it was like Tank was from Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, and like we ended up crossing paths and just, you know, bonding.
Yeah, facts.
Because like I said, Scream, you know, he had the acts like closer to his age,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, you know, like his genre, and he blessed me with the platform that they had built.
Yeah, facts.
For my audience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's coming over me. We 18, 19, 20, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And like, that's how, you know, like I said, ran in the Tank. Everybody who was on the scene at that time, from DJs to rappers, you know what I mean? And just promoters, everything. Like, but Tank, you know what I'm saying? We just built a bond and we started dropping mixtapes. Like,
That shit was crazy, bro.
Yeah, and it was just kind of like portraits of the time.
Yeah, facts.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm glad now too, you know, I know you said we'll get into it later, but I'm glad that that energy is kind of coming back around.
It's definitely coming back, bro. And I feel it. I was at 4 Day last week, and it was like performing and just seeing everybody on the stage that was from that era too as well. I was like, bro, I think that was the best time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Music wise, bro.
Yeah.
It was so many talented people. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Artists.
Yeah, man. And just as a artist, you know what I'm saying, a musician, I've came to learn over time is like when it comes to music, I think the test of time is like the greatest test for music. You know what I'm saying? Because when something is out, you know, and it has a lot of hype around it,
Facts.
you can kind of be blinded and feel a certain way. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But seeing, you know, it come back around and like people really receiving that same energy, that fun,
facts.
that party,
Facts.
you know what I mean? Like it kind of gives me like, damn, like niggas made some time and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So we had Space Invaders, Black Boy, White Boy era too as well, all the way up to like future tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
What made you gravitate to artists like Young LA, Travis Porter, different things? I know the age thing, but like in terms of their musical style, what made you gravitate to those artists? Because there was a lot of people rapping at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But how did you say like, nah, these guys are gonna be the ones that's gonna be on the forefront to lead this whole era?
Man, it was like the crazy part about it. People ask me that, you know, and it's like the energy. You know what I'm saying? Even to this day, I'm a big energy person, but it's just like I don't know if it's a gift, but it's like, you know what I'm saying, I can hear it. You know what I mean? Even to this day, like a song or anything, it's like, man, it's the energy. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And kind of like, you know, I've been wrong before. I ain't saying that I just know everything, but it was kind of like with me, like my ear gravitating to it, and then the second element was testing. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Which is now kind of like it's a different thing of testing your music, but those artists like were tested. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that I just heard this and my homeboys heard this and said it was hard. It was
for sure.
Like 400 people every week.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Tearing the roof down. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
About these songs and these artists.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, like I always respect that. And I think that's kind of, that played a part in like me building with these artists because I'm a DJ.
Yeah,
like,
facts.
You know what I mean? I want to play what moves the people.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like I can have my personal opinions. And that's, you know, kind of what my mixtapes were. I never been the guy really who just been in the big pay for play thing. I know it's a thing, but it's kind of like I'm more quality control
Facts. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think, you know, it was all of that. You know, all of that kind of just mixed together.
Yeah, nah, for sure, man. I want to talk about your beats, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember like the first song that you did that just instantly popped? It wasn't Cashing Out, was it? It was before Cashing Out.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that too. But what was the first song that you made and you were like, nah, bro, I'm one of the ones?
Man, really, the first song I'll say that I saw like start to like move. Like when I'm talking about like crowd control, like actually like hold on, you know what I mean? Because I was a beginner, you know what I mean? I felt like, you know, but it even with my beats, it's like I started making beats probably when I was 18, and I had been DJing since I was like 11. So I literally started making beats because by the time I moved up here, it's like I was 18. I had already been doing this for 9 years. So it's kind of like easy. Like really.
Facts. And
even just coming into the market and seeing, you know, what was going on, it was kind of like I saw my path clear instantly.
Yeah, facts.
And yeah, it was just like Scream. I'll never forget. He actually, I was making beats in my little dorm room, and he was like, I was like, man, what you think of? He was like, bro, he's kind of dope. Like, I'm going to take you around with some artists, you know what I'm saying? And you could play them or whatever. And I was like, okay. I'm like, on beat 18, 19. I'm like,
damn.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
But having that person behind me who, you know what I'm saying, saw that and once again gave me an opportunity. I was grateful for that and I seized it. You know what I'm saying? But Gorilla Zoe was the first person to ever rap on my beat. But the first song that I had that it started to move people was Go Shorty Go.
Go Shorty.
Yeah.
Damn, Go Shorty Go was your beat too as well.
Me and my partner Terrell Fresh.
Damn.
But he go by produced by SOS now.
Damn, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So once that song started rocking, like, was your phone like ringing for not only DJing but like with mixtapes but like beats too? Which one was more like popping? They was hitting you for the beats or the mixtapes?
Man, it was kind of like both at the same time.
Facts.
And like I said, like, man, them times were like they were so good. A lot of it is kind of like a blur. Yeah. So you know, I remember like key moments in it, but I remember at that time it was definitely like coming from all angles. Yeah,
facts. Nah, that's dope. When it comes down to being in the studio and stuff like that, a lot of producers have tags and they have like bass, like 808s. Yeah. You created your own 808, bro, and they call it the DJ Spinz 808, bro. And I'm gonna tell you a funny story. One of my partners, man, he was like, bro, I was like, man, he was like, who you interviewing this week? I was like, man, I got DJ Spinz. He was like, DJ Spinz? You talking about Spinz? Spinz 808? I was like, he's like, bro, I use his 808s now. I was like, yeah, I'm interviewing my dog. He was like, man, damn, bro, ask him about that. So I was like, bro, I wanted to ask you about, you know what I'm saying, how did you come up with your own 808?
Oh, man, this is like the most famous question that everybody has to ask me. Bro, like, it's a lot of, you know, confusion out there, and I try not to get into any of that, man.
Nah, for sure.
It's an 808, like I said, that I used on several records, you know what I'm saying? And like back then it was kind of like it isn't how it is today, to where you know you got a million producer kids. This producer made a kid and he got all this going on. Sounds were kind of like traded, you know what I'm saying? You had like torrent websites, but you could get shit from other producers. And like the 808 you know, that everybody haggles me about is kind of like I'm an honest person, bro. I literally, it's the same. It's a 808. It was the 808 that I used, but I feel like, you know, it's such a big thing over who created the 808.
Right.
I don't know who created the 808. I was using it. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I guess niggas whoever made the pack was like, oh, this the 808 Spinz be using. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, it's cool, but everybody like, oh, you need to take credit for the shit. Like, bro, tools, bro. Do your thing. Yeah. They out there. You put, this nigga put the filter on the 808. It's this 808, and he do this and make it that. Yeah. Cool, bro. Add your sauce, do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, facts.
At the end of the day, man, I think people get caught up on the wrong thing about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like seriously, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, and being honest, like, I never put out a drum kit, like, ever in my life.
Damn. Okay.
So like, it's literally, but it'll be the same thing. It'd be like, you know, at the time, Scott Storch 808 or whatever. It's kind of like producers or kit makers or whatever, they go through and collect sounds and they put them in packs. and they label them how they label them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But yeah, with credit and stuff like that, it's like, man,
you ain't really tripping.
Yeah. I'm honored that you would name an 808 after me. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Facts.
And then, like I tell producers all the time, like, shit, if it's helping you, bro, I love that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This changed my life. I see it all the time. It's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy about that. You know what I mean?
That shit is crazy.
Go create something greater.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's dope. That's dope though, man. That's crazy, bro. Like I didn't know that they can like collect a whole bunch of different sounds and just label it into, hey, it's gonna be
whatever
called
you want.
The Vibin With Veto beat pack.
You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck? Like,
and that's where I think we're at with producer culture today.
Mm.
Like, you know, it's honestly, bro, is I look at it as like I love producers and I want everybody to win and grow and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because music it's a lot deeper to me than just making beats. It's like it's a journey in your evolution.
Yeah, facts.
So like I try not to get caught up in any of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's just I don't want to be toxic. Like I don't want to be pointing fingers. And It's like, man, nah, bro. Let's make good shit. Let's get better and let's build a community up.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts, bro. When it comes down to songs, like hit records.
Yeah.
What would you say your biggest hit record was? You know what I'm saying? Like throughout your whole journey.
I don't know, man. Damn. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Commas or you know what I'm saying? A lot of the Future stuff went really big with Quan.
Facts.
I think Flex was his biggest record.
Facts.
And rest in peace.
Rest in peace to Homie Quan.
So man, it's crazy because like, especially now that this coming back, it be songs that I forgot about. You know
Facts.
like, when I hear them, it's like, damn, it take me back to that time.
Damn. So I'm also on your page too, and I'm like up on like what you're doing now. So you making more like calm music, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? What made you transition into that lane too as well? Did you kind of get tired of like the rap culture, or you wanted to kind of just do? Or you can answer that.
Yeah, at a point I kind of got tired of it. Now I'm kind of like reinvigorated a little bit. But yeah, the calm stuff is kind of like just the evolution of my life. It's like the music I made in my 20s, you know, it was like that's where I was at. You know, party, you know, turn up. And now it's kind of like I enjoy peace. You know what I'm saying? And I listen to a lot of jazz. I listen to house. I listen to Afro beats. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of just like me, you know, printing my life at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that it blesses some other people the way that it blesses me. Because I listen to like my Cashmere albums. And, I've had, you know, several people either comment, you know, tell me when I run into them, like, man, bro, I start my day off with this. Or like, my partner, you know, he teaches kids, elementary school kids. I play this every morning for the kids come in.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, I want to, I feel like I've learned that music is medicine. And, like, I want to put out some good medicine, you know.
Damn, that's the bar right there. Because music does set the mood and like your tone. It can alter your mood too as well. Like if you listening to some like fight music, you gonna kind of get in the mind frame of like, bro, that's what you want to do. If you listen to more calm music, then you'll be on that type time. So now I do respect that, bro. Yeah,
I just, you know, I try to you know, life is hard as it is, you know, for everybody. Everybody has something that they're dealing with. So it's just kind of like, you know, this music helps me get to my center. It gives me peace. And, you know, like, I feel like God just put me on that to share it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
It even when I got inspired by it, like, it blessed me.
Yeah,
you know
facts.
So,
facts.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of like my evolution of where I'm at. And I think it's nothing bad about trap. Like, I still love, like, you know, certain artists and certain fields of music or whatever. I might be listening to this today, but I'm very mindful of like what I allow into my ears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
It's just like I don't want certain things laying in my subconscious and stuff like that. And you know,
Yeah, I feel you. I have a slogan that I always say: purpose over popularity.
Yeah.
When I say that slogan to you, how can you mirror that around your life?
Man, it feel like my life. You know what I'm saying? I seen you say that before, and that touched me. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro.
Like,
damn, for real?
Yeah, bro. Like,
damn, thank you, bro, for real.
Yeah, and I feel that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's anything, I want to second that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's how I feel like I live my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The popularity, it is what it is. I guess it comes with it.
Yeah, facts.
But I just want to use it. I just want to be used as a vessel for the right thing.
Nah, that's dope. That's dope. Can I get some merch to you too? Because I got purpose. Yeah, I got purpose over popularity merch.
Please.
So I'll hit you up this week. And because I go out of the country tomorrow.
Okay.
But I come back Friday. I'll bring you some shit too.
Please.
Like, cause that's my message, bro. That's what, like, bro. Cause I feel like that too, bro. It's like I want to put my purpose. Like, I feel like me chasing my purpose and putting that out there, everything else will come. But I'm not searching that other shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know, fiending for that or like the attention and all that stuff like that, bro. That just comes to me because of what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And I guess what I'm putting out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And, you know, like one candle lights another one, you know what I mean? So the flame continues to get like bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
so
facts.
Even with the music that I'm doing or just, you know, acts I might do, it's like I'm trying to, like, if it's 1,000 people in the crowd and I can touch one, you know what I'm saying? Even more than that, but then that person is gonna like somebody else.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
facts.
like I'm heavy on that.
Nah, that's real. That's real. Before we get out of here, man, if you can go back and tell your younger self anything, what would it be and why?
Just be careful of the company you keep. You know, I think to young people, you know, anybody coming up, like, it's so many things that you can be influenced by. But, you know, I urge people to, you know, look into your center, like, you know, whatever your God or whatever you tap into, you know what I'm saying? Like, stay focused, stay tuned into the right radio station so you can hear, you know what I mean? Because when you're on a certain frequency, you know what I'm saying, you kind of like, you get like the early release like all the time, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I just, you know, like I said, I tell myself to just stay closer to your core, you know what I mean? Like,
Thanks.
Always take some time to detox, always take some time to sit in solitude so you can hear yourself think. You know what I mean? A lot of times people just have a lot of things going on around them, and just go take a walk. You know what I'm saying? Go take a walk and, you know what I'm saying, let God talk to you.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
DJ Spinz. Damn. Thank you for coming, bro. Real shit, bro. Like,
thank you, bro.
I mean, I know I hit you up a long time ago, but it's like, bro, I'm a fan of y'all niggas, bro. Like, as much as I've been doing my music and just different things like that, like, bro, I look at y'all still the same way I did years ago. Like, you're DJ Spinz, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I interview y'all, I still be like, damn, bro, like, this is dope that y'all would take time out of your day to come and rock with me too. Man, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, it goes both ways. Thank you for having me.
Nah, that's real. Nah, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Tell the people where they can find you, bro.
Oh yeah, man. I ain't too hard to find. Like I said, Spinz.
Facts.
IG, Twitter, DJ Spinz.
Yes, sir.
Same thing on streaming.
Man, thank you, bro. Hey, man, it's been another episode Vibin' With Veto, DJ Spinz, bro. This shit is still crazy to me. You already know the slogan. We vibrating higher and we chasing purpose over popularity. Y'all look out for the merch. It's coming soon, too, as well. Let's get it.